You ever have one of those moments where you're sitting in the house and you're just taking the night off, you know, you're not expected to do anything, just sitting there watching TV, and suddenly you hear a car pull into the driveway, and quickly you take all the dirty dishes and you shove them under the couch, and you start to dust everywhere, and you take the trash out, and you tell the kids to behave themselves, and you clean up their faces, and you clean up your face, and all this kind of stuff, and you finally look out the window and you see that the car is just turning around. Sometimes we work very hard to make others see a cleaner version of ourselves, a less cluttered version of ourselves. We try to kind of put on this like fancy show, and instead of showing people who we really are. There's a lesson kind of like that in the book of Matthew. There was a time when Jesus took Peter, James, and John, and he takes them up to this mountain. And while they're there, the disciples see Jesus kind of climb up toward a little bit higher in the mountain there, and suddenly he transforms. This light shines around him, and he gets like this, his shirt becomes, white and everything like that. And beside him is Elijah, a great prophet, and then Moses on the other side. And he's having conversations with them. And it's just a really, really holy moment. Well, Peter just freaks out, and it's like he sees that he now has company, and the mountain that they're at, the wilderness is just way too cluttered, and he says, Jesus, that's what usually we yell when people come over. He says, Jesus, I'll build a shelter for you guys. Let me build a house for you guys. Let me build something for you guys. This is just, okay, just stay right there. And while he's panicking and everything, Jesus just puts this cloud between them and Jesus. It's kind of God's way of just going, shh, shh. And then later, Peter feels kind of stupid. It's like, the shelter wasn't enough. It should have been an altar or something like that. I should have built him a car. I should have built him a car. Then, and all this kind of stuff, and he's still panicking. And by the time that Jesus comes down, they just put their heads down. All three of the disciples just put their heads down. And Jesus comes up to him, and he grabs him by the shoulder, and he just says, get up. Don't be afraid. It's kind of like Jesus is saying, look, it's not about, you don't have to build a shelter for us. You don't have to pretend to be something for us. This is a holy moment. You just witnessed a beautifully holy moment. But I invited you to witness this as you are. It's funny how much we try to pretend to be something else when God calls us right where we are. Jesus is, pulling into that driveway as we are. He knows about the clutter. He sees under the couch. He knows all of that kind of stuff. But what he's saying is, look, that's who you are. Be yourself. That's who God made. And that's who God loves. Jesus is coming to you right now as you are. You don't have to hide anything. You don't have to pretend to be anything. Just be you. And know that God loves you just as you are.